Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne. Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne. Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne. Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne. Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne. So guys, we have to get into it. I wanted to go ahead and break down this Brett Cooper clavicular interaction. And I've got to start from the beginning, okay? I've got to start from the origins, all right? And we have Brett Cooper, who pretty much presents herself as a right-wing e-girl trad vibe. And you know, this is something that we have focused on this channel for a while now, because a lot of these trad wives or trad women who are trying to present themselves as traditional women, and you know, they are super devout and they don't participate in any type of degenerate activity. Well, they are actually showing their behinds. And we had Sarah Stock and Elijah Schaefer at first. And now we are going to have to talk about Brett Cooper, because she has gone under the spell of Clavicular. And the reason why is because he has looks max. Now, a lot of you guys who aren't familiar with the term looks max, to explain it, it is essentially a man or a woman, but typically a man, doing everything in his possibility, everything possible, everything that he has access to improve his physical appearance. So, as a man, you're out here and you're working out, and you know, you're doing different things like eating healthy, getting your skincare routine. Well, Clavicular is a little different in the way that he looks max. Okay. He actually smashes his bones. He takes drugs like methamphetamine or steroids or Adderalls or any other type of drug. And he does it a little differently than we have thought of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the origin of it, and I'm going to pull up this video of when Brett Cooper first started talking about Clavicular. So we want to establish a feel of familiarity, because we're going to get into what Brett Cooper did this past weekend that has the internet shaken up, and also has some tension growing in her marriage, allegedly.
I feel like reacting to things on the internet, which I have done for 4 years straight at this point, it used to be more fun. It used to be free and freewheeling. And now every day when I sit behind this microphone, I'm constantly worried about offending people on my own side, on my own political side, not saying the right thing. I'm just over it. Can things not just be funny anymore? Can we not just touch some grass and laugh at things without it being the end of the world? Can I not just be entertained by things that go on the internet? Because what happened in Miami this weekend with all of the Manosphere streamers, that was my reality TV. All right, now you might be able to tell by the sound of my voice, but we had the plague this week. Very few things brought me more genuine wheezing laughter than this collection of streamers taking Nick Fuentes to a club in Miami. And do not worry.
So she is going back to when Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, Andrew Tate, and Clavicular went to the club, and then they played the forbidden song in the club, and they got banned. So that's what she's referencing here.
Everyone is already busy condemning it. Now, before we get into what happened and all of the responses, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on all of the things we are doing on the channel and every new episode, make sure to ring that notification bell. This whole streaming endeavor weekend, guys weekend. It was like a glorified bachelor party, but for the manosphere of streamers. And it all took place on Clavicular's stream on Kick. If you don't know who Clav is, Clavicular, I have a video about him. Batshit crazy, like crazy story. If you don't know who he is.
Okay, so she's calling him batshit crazy, but she rushed out to New York to go and meet him, apparently. So another frame of reference, guys. I mean, when women talk shit about a guy, it definitely means that they are potentially interested.
You can go watch that. Clavicular somehow assembled the Avengers of the Manosphere. He got the Tate brothers, he got Fresh and Fit, he got Sneeko, he got Nick Fuentes, and a gaggle of women that you would expect to see on the Whatever podcast. He got them all together in Miami. And if that sounds like a fever dream to you, it basically is. Imagine me having a fever, watching all of this transpire. I thought I was hallucinating. They started this whole night, this like guys weekend, Saturday night at a pregame at this mansion that I think was provided by one of Andrew Tate's friends. This was all of them walking in the door. Like this whole thing was being filmed. The boys walking in. You see the cameras back there. They're on the water. Oh, there's the ladies lined up by the water, just ready for these streamers to walk in and greet them. And that clip was posted and somebody said, this looks like a scene out of a mafia movie. And then somebody else reposted that and said, the gay father, which was very funny. I have to admit, I laughed a lot. One of the comments said,
okay, so I mean, again, ad hominems, calling them gay, all this kind of stuff. And look, I mean, I'm not familiar with dudes, sexuality, but I'm gonna go on a limb. I don't think he's gay. You know, a lot of people are trying to hit him with all these different types of allegations, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen any homosexual actions from him, so I wouldn't say that. But it just goes to show that, you know, the way in which she's insulting him, the way in which she is also glued to his streams. She's watching him. She knows who he is. She's all these things. So we're not going to give her an excuse when we bring out the hypocrisy in her ways. And I actually have found the video that she previously made about him. So we're going to take a little break from this video and go to that one, because this is when she first started talking about him, and it really shows you that she knows exactly who he is. She watches his streams and all that. So here, let's get into it.
Huh? Oh, don't mind me. I'm just looks maxing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you are going to find out today, because today we are talking about what could possibly be the fakest man on the internet. It is time for you guys to meet Braden Peters, also known on the internet as Clavicular. So you might be thinking, Brett, why the heck are you making me watch a video of a 20-something-year-old Instagram model, a man that basically looks like he walked off the set of The Summer I Turned Pretty? Well, I am shocked.
So you can see how interested she is in him by the backhanded compliments that she's giving him. I mean, it's very clear that he is her true type. The way that Clavicular comes off is like, I think he gives like a Taylor Lautner, you know, whatever the fuck, the werewolf or movie. What is that shit called again? The Werewolf Twilight. He gives off that kind of vibe, right? And women were obsessed with those guys, the Taylor Lautners, and then the other guy, I forgot his name, but they were like, team this guy or team that guy. And they're basically feuding over which guy looks good, which guy looks the best, which guy they would rather be with. And this is kind of how her attitude is toward Clavicular, fangirling over this guy. You know, she's making fun of him, but she's steady watching his streams, knows everything about him, knows everything that he's doing online, and knows every type of method that he uses to quote unquote looks match.
showing you, because what this man is showing young people, what he is teaching them how to do, has got to be one of the most dangerous trends on the internet right now. Before we dive into that though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and of course ring that notification bell to make sure that you stay up to date on all of our episodes. Plus go to cooperconfidential.com if you want to get access to all the behind the scenes content, farm vlogs, birth stories, a baby registry review once I finally get around to doing that. Anyway, all of
All right, fast forward.
this man, or Braden Peters, is part of the LM, or the looks maxing community on TikTok. And looks maxing is basically guys, usually guys, trying to maximize their attractiveness or maximize their looks, hence looks maxing. Anyway, it is basically glowing up, as the girls say, but for guys. And here are a couple examples. Okay, so in that one, he's just showing off his glow up. Here is another one. Okay, I shouldn't laugh because they're trying to show that they've increased, confidence, that they feel like they look better. But in all of these videos, it's always like, I can do that too. I can look smash. I don't even need to get buccal fat surgery. Anyway, moving on from that. What is interesting about the looks maxing community is that it is often contrasted with the BP or the black pill movement, and not the black pill in the political sense or in my sense where I'm like, oh guys, it's us versus them. It's the elites versus normal Americans. Both parties are the same. We're living under a global uniparty. It's not that kind of black pill. It is everything is depressing and there's no hope, but it's about attractiveness. BP in this sense is black pilling about your looks with a deterministic worldview that says that the only thing that matters for dating and success in the world is your attractiveness, and you will not.
Okay, so and this is something that we've covered on this channel here, Reclaim Your Throne, where we talk about the black pill. We address black pill guys. We kind of give them advice, things that they can do to improve their looks. Maybe, looks maxing isn't their lane. Maybe they need to thug max. Okay, maybe thug maxing isn't their lane. Maybe they need to Malcolm max, which is mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. So, we understand the plight of black pill, because the plight of black pill is the same plight of MGTOW and, passport bros in a sense, except the black pill guys, they're kind of checked out completely, and they're not trying to do anything or pursue any type of relationship. They have just given up essentially. So Brett Cooper is highlighting this phenomenon, but she doesn't really completely understand how right this train of thought ended up being. Essentially when you see her reaction, when you see the reaction of other women who are swarming Clavicular, when, even he said, oh yeah, I'm not a good guy, I'm not going to treat you right, but they're still swarming after him. Why is that? It's because, not only did he looks max, but he also clout maxed and finance maxed as well. And these are, money, status, looks. These are the three pillars of the red pill that we kind of break down and decipher as keys or indicators of attractiveness.
Be able to change it. And if you're not attractive, at age 16, you're never going to be attractive, and there is no hope for you. So on the surface, looks maxing and glowing up, that sounds fantastic. Like, I am all for self-improvement, whether you are a man or a woman. I think it is awesome that men are online encouraging each other. Hey, you should try this. You should do this. Feel better in your skin. Whatever it is, like, that should be wholesome content. That should be something that I am able to stand behind and say, yes, snaps for you men. Good job. Go out there, get your bag, get your jawline.
But you know why she can't do that is because, like, let's keep it a buck. All of these female, commentators or online e-girls, they genuinely are feminists at heart, and they just don't like men. So they have to hate on the men who are essentially trying to better themselves. They have to hate on the men who are inspiring other men to better themselves, because they don't like men, period. And they don't want to see a confident man. They don't want to see a man kind of stick it to women in the way that the women have stuck it to men for the last couple of, decades, if you will. So they don't like seeing that. So they're trying to reverse the trend, except on the trad right wing end. And these chicks who are commentary queens, e-girls, whatever, trad influencers, let's keep it a buck. When the pressure gets on and when they're put in a situation that they say they'll never do something, when they actually get put in that situation, they always end up folding. Look at Sarah Stock. Look at, I mean, Isabella Moody. That was one of them. She said, "Oh, I don't have to take bikini pics to get attention." And then guess what? She takes a bikini pic, and and then they call her cake tits because she was baking and she had like this big bra on that was like accentuating her breasts and all this kind of stuff. And she blocked me over. So I guess I don't know what she blocked me on Twitter for, but essentially all these e-girl trad girls who are trying to present as like these innocent pure what even I guess left-wing oriented people would call pick-me's, they all still loathe the idea of men actually dominating and actually having success in their life and actually glowing up and actually calling their lives on their own terms.
Like all of that stuff. But then you keep scrolling on TikTok. You get into the weeds and you realize that the self-improvement isn't just getting a gua sha or ice rolling in the morning or getting a skincare routine, getting on Accutane or hitting the gym. It's actually something a lot more sinister. And this is how our friend Clavicular, or Braden Peters, would describe it. Take a watch.
Looks maxing is basically like the most intensive version of self-improvement. Like it's really like doing a lot of shit to improve your looks, whether that be steroids, whether that be peptides, plastic surgery.
Okay, does looks maxing include wearing your hat sideways like you're a 2008 white rapper? Because I don't think so. Sorry, that was a low blow. I'm admitting that. I'm going to rein myself in. That was a low blow. But anyway, what he is describing in this video is something.
So she makes fun of the way that he wore his hat. I guess she's saying he's wearing it like a white rapper, so you can't wear your hat backwards now. And she's making this face as if she's disgusted with him. But the body language is actually telling us a different thing because she's making the face of disgust. But as you can see, her cheeks are flushed. And I don't want to hear that shit about, oh, it's blush, it's makeup. Look, she's getting way more red than she usually is. And it's because she has a sense of nervousness and, maybe anxiousness when talking about this man because she's actually attracted to him. And you can tell this by the way that she interacts with him in real life and even through text messages, apparently, even after the way that Clavicular has directly disrespected her marriage, and her husband. And I'm going to show you the clips of him disrespecting her marriage and her husband as well after we kind of set the precedent that Brett Cooper knows who he is. She watches his streams. Any clips that go viral of him are getting sent to her. So we're not going to act like she doesn't know the types of things that he has said about her and the vulgarity and the sexuality that he has pushed on her. And that's what makes her, the way that she behaved and the way that she's still behaving at the New York Fashion Week thing, even more scandalous, if you will. But shout out to the chatters in the building. I'm going to show the chat on stage right now. We got Van Lee in the building. He says, reclaim, you are running Twitter. He said, these commentators are actually independent high earner. Modern women pull back their drapes. Yep. Shout out to King David for Christ. Van Lee says, Brett Cooper is super mid, but she speaks incredibly well. King David for Christ also says, no matter how much girls cap and act like they're superior to lames, always remember they are head over heels over some giga chad that treats her like trash. Yes. Example. Yes, Jules. Exactly. Yes, Jules tried to expose some guy on the Seattle Seahawks for sliding in her DMs because he wants some pussy after the Super Bowl, and then she tried to expose him talking about, oh, you got a wife and this, that, and third. And then everybody started even concluding myself, started tweeting her and replying and quoting her, say, hey, you didn't act like this when Braun hit you up. The rumor has it that Braun smacked Yes Jules' cheeks, and he's a married man, but you ain't act like so. It's kind of like that principle of, I don't know if y'all seen the meme of the guy who's going to work and then, it's a attractive guy. And he says to the girl, hey, you want to go to lunch later on? And, shoots her the little finger guns and then winks his eye. And then she's like, oh my God, yeah. And then you get the nerdy guy who the CPA of the corporation, he comes up to her and he says, hey, you want to go to lunch later on? And this is the same thing. And it's sexual harassment. So it only works if she's attracted to you, is essentially what I'm trying to say. And that goes back into and plays back into the looks maxing and the black pill, essentially. Shout out to Van Lee. He says, bro, Brett Cooper is mid, but she speaks incredibly well. Clav just took someone bitch on V-Day. Exactly. Cardi front played Diggs, won the Super Bowl on her. Yes, Jules' ass is super duper fat. Sheesh. I see why Braun folded. Cardi got played. Diggs ran routes on her and won his own Super Bowl. Right.
Improvement. Like it's really like doing a lot of shit to improve your looks, whether that be steroids, whether that be peptides, plastic surgery.
Okay, does looks maxing include wearing your hat sideways like you're a 2008 white rapper? Because I don't think so. Sorry, that was a low blow. I'm admitting that. I'm going to rein myself in. That was a low blow. But anyway, what he is describing in this video is something that he is now known for, and it is called hard maxing, or that is the extreme side of looks maxing, where men are doing steroids, they're getting implants, they're undergoing very serious plastic surgery. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, you want to be hot.
I don't know about the implants. From what I understand, he spoke about, getting a plate in his jaw. I don't think he's actually going to do it. I just think he's explored all the options to see what is viable. But I pretty much think he's going to calm it down when it comes to any cosmetic surgery. From my understanding, he hasn't had any cosmetic surgery. He got on Accutane. He got on the anabolic steroids. He got on crystal meth, apparently, to keep him thin in small doses that's prescribed. Apparently, methamphetamines is what he is saying. And we know that he has a Coke habit, a Coca-Cola habit, because we've seen him do Coca-Cola on stream. And then, a healthy dose of Adderall. So he's got a concoction, a cocktail, pause, if you will, of drugs in his system at all times, which I totally do not agree with. I don't think it's healthy for you at all. But this goes to show that, once we start seeing how Brett Cooper actually is interacting with Clavicular in real life and through DMs and whatnot, we're going to see that she really doesn't care about all these drugs that he's on. She really doesn't care, as long as she gets to interact with him. She's completely fascinated with the idea of this man.
Fine, go for it, do what you want to do. But it also is darker than that, because these communities, these influencers online like Clavicular, are pushing this idea that men's value as a person, i.e., their success, their dating options, their social status, is solely based on their appearance, and that they need to do whatever it takes to change that they need to take extreme measures in order to move themselves up in the attractiveness ranks. And this trend on social media is really picking up steam. There have been a lot of articles written about it recently. The Guardian wrote, men are rated, this is in this kind of looks maxing community, men are rated from being PSL gods, exceptionally attractive men, to Chads, generally attractive men, and finally sub fives, which is unattractive men. Men are encouraged to believe that they can move up through the scale by a process called looks maxing, which can be as unproblematic as going to the gym or as damaging as changing the structure of the jaw using a freaking hammer. And again, we're going to get into this because it is so insane. And before you guys come at me, because I know that this always happens, before you come at me and you're like, Brett, stop attacking men. Men need to do whatever they need to do. Like, leave us alone. Listen, I would say the same thing for women, because women do a lot of this insane stuff as well. The crazy diets,
She's a lie. She would not say the same thing for women. And the reason why we know that she wouldn't say the same thing for women is because she hasn't been saying the same thing for women. She hasn't been saying the same thing for women. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I'm trying to look on her channel to see if she has anything to say about these hoes getting breast implants. Does she have anything to say about these BBLs? I just searched her channel. She has no videos on BBLs. I'm searching her channel for breast implants. All I see is everybody wants plastic surgery, a short, but I don't see anything about talking about women getting breast implants. I don't see anything about talking about women catfishing men through makeup. I don't see anything about women using these crazy filters. So she doesn't actually do that. She was sparked to talk about men improving because she's like, oh no, the men are improving. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. But then in person, guess what she wants? She's so giddy to meet the man.
plastic surgery, the buccal fat removal, all of this stuff, the insane fake eyelashes, the Jasmine Crockett nails, all of that. It is too much. It is too much for both men and women. I'm drawing the line in the sand there. But as you're going to see, I think what Clavicular is doing is a little more insane than what most normal women are doing. Like me at 14, saran wrapping my thighs, trying to get a thigh gap is not the same as bashing in my face. Anyway, I'm gonna.
So, I mean, he's not bashing in the face. He's making, it sounds crazy, but he's making micro fractures in his, not the jawline, but it's the cheekbones, where you put micro fractures in your cheekbones so that your cheekbones grow back and sit up higher and stronger. They look more masculine. Would I do this? No. I mean, I've got strong cheekbones. I got a strong jawline already. So this is not something that I would do myself. But at the end of the day, you know, the over exaggeration of what the guy is actually doing, like when she says, "Oh, he's smashing his face in," no, it's literally micro fractures, the lowest level of smashing your face, right? But I digress.
Getting ahead of myself. Here's Braden Clavicular before and after, and then we'll get into what got him to this point. So you can see his before and after here. And yes, obviously, he has done things cosmetically, but I feel like a lot of this is just puberty. Like between the ages of 16, which is when he started, and 20, 22, 23, 24, your body changes. Men, you develop, your face shape changes, your jaw becomes more pronounced, you grow into your features. Puberty happens to all of us, and we look a lot better later. Like I actually think, and this is probably very controversial for a lot of the red pill people online, but like I think women and men continue to get more attractive. Like once you hit like your late 20s, your 30s, like I feel like people come into their prime at that point because
I mean, again, you know, we all understand what she's talking about, and women are able to prolong their looks to a certain extent if they actually do the work. But most of these hoes are not doing the work, so most of these hoes do not look good in their 30s. Let's keep it a buck. Even the modern women, they're crashing out way earlier. Think about all the bad bitches from your high school. They're fat now. And then you see the men, they're getting in shape, they're glowing up, they're working out, all this kind of stuff. There are some women who are doing it for sure, but it is definitely a minority. Whereas men are more focused on self-improvement activities in this day and age, from what I'm seeing. And women are kind of more focused on school, you know, quote unquote, getting the bag and being a girl boss. But I don't really think they're focused on their health.
As your facial structure seems more mature, but that was not happening soon enough for Clavicular. So he took matters into his own hands, and we can see there are impressive results. But here's the thing. This man is not paying millions of dollars to get the, you know, Kim Kardashian, the Kris Jenner, like insane facelift. He's not getting, you know, butt implants, whatever it is. He is doing something called bone smashing, which obviously you saw reference in that video. That's the reason why I'm sitting with a freaking hammer next to me. Now, bone smashing is a very chronically online practice where you literally hit your bones with an object like a hammer to make them stronger and to aesthetically try to reshape them. And no, I'm not kidding. This is something that people—
And you know, this also is not like a foreign idea. Okay, you do this in fighting sports where you smash the bones of your shins when if you're a kickboxer, if you ever done like type of MMA wrestling type Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You hit harder surfaces to make your chin or your shins stronger, and you create micro fractures so that they grow back stronger and harder. That way, when you kick somebody else's in their shin and you kick their bone, their leg breaks and yours does not.
Online are telling their audience to do. Here he is talking about it.
Can you tell him what bone smashing is? Because I heard I was shocked.
So I don't know if you've ever heard of Wolff's Law. You know, this is a principle that states that if you create microfractures to a bone, it's actually going to grow back stronger. So you're inducing this by bone smashing, whether it be with a hammer, with your fists, either or, to, you know, grow your bones and get a more masculine, chiseled face.
That's real.
Okay. Yeah, bone smashed. Yeah.
You smashed your face in, and what'd you do after? Like you went to the doctor and they reconstructed you, or
no. So just small microfractures.
Again, they're taking the word smashing too literally, as if he's, you know, completely bludgeoning himself. It's a microfracture. and the bone grows back stronger and harder. And that's a fact. I mean, you know, like I said, I personally would not do it. I'm not endorsing it. But the fact that they're like acting like this is just such a foreign idea is I just think it's a little dense, if you would, because this is kind of common biology, common anatomy, where if you break a bone, it grows back stronger. If you create these microfractions, it grows back stronger and harder, and it does give a more chiseled look.
And the bone grows back stronger according to Wolf's Law.
Okay, I usually do not think that the women on Fresh and Fit really add much value to the world, but they are adding a lot of value to my life right now with their facial expressions. Like this woman sitting next to him being like, you did what? You smashed your face.
And, you know, I love when they say, oh, the women on Fresh and Fit, like these women are not everyday regular women who come from universities all across the country to be on the show. Like they're still running with the narrative of, oh, the girls on Fresh and Fit are hoes and all they bring is hoes and dumb bitches. That's not true at all. They literally bring so many different type of bitches on there. And some of them have, you know, 2-3 degrees and they still cannot name 3 countries.
And he's like, no, I didn't go to the doctor. I just made tiny micro fragments. It's Wolf's Law or whatever it is. My jaw is growing back stronger. You know how your jaw also grows back stronger? By growing up, by becoming a man. You do not need to take a hammer to your face for that to happen. But hey, it's just little micro fractures, nothing to it. Like, I'm sorry, but no. I know I'm laughing about all of this, but this is just a step way too far. Like, we're not going to be doing this. We're not going to normalize this. We are not going to be telling young men to start taking hammers or fists to their faces. That is insane. If you are worried about your jaw, oh my God, try mouth tape, get Invisalign. That helps. Gua sha. Like I will personally buy you one of the jaw exercisers. If you are considering taking a hammer to your face, let me know. I will Amazon it to your house before you start breaking your jaw. Somebody commented and said, you do not need to look smacks to be seen as good looking. You just need to care a little bit for yourself. Literally, like the bar.
And here women are going to say the bar is so low. All you have to do is do this and then women will find you attractive. Fucking bullshit. Like, come on, dude. Like we understand the gaslighting, but we know that if an ugly guy approaches you or if he's not your type or whatever, you're giving this dude the nastiest look that you done ever gave a person in life to get him out of your face. So we're not going to sit up here and act like, oh, the bar is so low for women when women are out here, you know, with exorbitant standards that don't fit any type of man, let alone the ready and available men in the United States. So we're not just going to sit up here and act like women's standards are so low and they would never fuck with this guy. Like, bruh, stop it.
On the floor. You don't need to take a hammer to your face. You can like maybe go to the gym once a week and you will be taking a huge step forward. Somebody else said RAP to the OG looks maxing, aka self-care, healthy lifestyle, and or makeup. Yeah, apparently that all is just way too soft now. That's apparently soft maxing. We're hard maxing now, apparently, taking fists to the jaw. But guys, we're not done. Because if you thought the hammer to the face was crazy, well, he's not just doing that. He's also doing coke and meth for health, of course.
For 3 days, I spent...
So, I mean... He's doing the coke and meth allegedly to stay thin. I obviously do not agree with the Coca-Cola use or the amphetamines use. Apparently, he got the amphetamines prescribed. Coca-Cola, he's doing the street version of the Coca-Cola. Whoever his plug is probably getting paid a hefty amount to serve him. I will say that.
And a combination of Adderall and methamphetamine for appetite suppression. And
you know, when he speaks about the methamphetamine, again, I don't agree with it, but he is microdosing based off of a prescription that his doctor gave him. Allegedly, he may not have a prescription. He may have like street crystal meth. I don't know. But I know that you can get amphetamines prescribed. Now, is it going to be straight up Heisenberg, that blue rock? I don't know. But you know, he's saying he microdoses all this kind of stuff. I mean, let's not act like these young guys aren't experimenting with drugs. All right. We're not going to act all holier than thou and act like young people don't experiment with drugs. This is very much a normal thing. Now, in the context that he's using it, I don't necessarily agree, but from what I've seen on his streams, he's not at the point of rock bottom or crashing out. So he, besides getting arrested, he did get locked up for, I guess, copping an Adderall and using a fake ID to get into bars in Arizona. So obviously he's making mistakes there. He's also live streaming what potentially could be viewed as crimes. But this is white boy shit. I feel like this is just white boy shit. They're not going to look into it crazy. Apparently he got a lot of those charges dropped in Arizona. He's moving back around. So I don't really think it is restricting his life. As a matter of fact, I think his personal drug usage has enhanced his life, whether you like it or not, whether you want to say that it's good or bad, it just is. And the way that he has used it in order to increase his or raise his physical attractiveness, you can't say it didn't work. And you can't say that the drug use or his attitude or his vulgarity or his autism or whatever has stopped him from getting women after looks maxing. Looks maxing only made him famous and made him get more women and made him be able to walk the runway of New York Fashion Week. So, I mean, to say that this shit is not working for him, you just can't say it.
I literally went on a 3-day fast and stayed awake the entire time, and I lost 5 pounds.
Okay. You did all of that to lose 5 pounds. Sorry, I cut him off.
That was kind of the craziest thing I've done. It was pretty neurotoxic to be up that long, but thankfully we have something called cerebrolysin to recover from the neurotoxicity.
Yeah, I would say that doing meth and Adderall and staying awake for 3 days and not eating would be very toxic for your brain. Also, 5 pounds, you did all of that for 5 pounds. And the thing is, fasting in and of itself is not a bad thing. That is actually a very healthy thing to do in moderation. But call me crazy. When my husband is doing 72-hour fast, or God knows what he does when he's not eating for all of those days, I think that is what is changing his body, not the drugs. And I'm very grateful that he does not.
Let's not act like her husband is just like into fasting and all that stuff. We see her husband in the thumbnail. I mean, he's not a pinnacle for fitness.
Not need to do drugs in order to suppress his appetite. He just has the willpower to get through it. Maybe you should try that. Then maybe you could actually sleep during those 3 days so you're not frying your brain. Anyway, he then backs it up here in yet another video.
It's none of your business, so I'd prefer if we...
What does faith and meth have to do with each other?
Exactly. Well, I mean, obviously...
So you use meth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You
like support that and like preach it to younger children?
No.
Okay, all right.
I just tell people what I do.
Okay, cool.
This entire interaction is so insane. She's like trying to understand this man. He's like, no, I don't preach it to young people. Obviously, he's not preaching it to young people, but he is telling his audience of impressionable young men what he's doing. Totally different. Totally not a bad influence at all. How do you not see that those are basically the same thing? Somebody commented and said, I feel really bad for him. It's sad that he feels the need to do this to his body. God bless him. Like, we should all be praying for Clavicular because something is very wrong here. Another person said, that's not called a hack. That's called a bender. Yeah, if you can't get through a 3-day fast without drugs, maybe just don't fast. Maybe like start with that before we introduce meth into your diet, into your health regimen. And also, can we talk about the impact?
So notice how she's focusing on the drug use and how bad of an influence he is for young men. But now she's hitting his line wanting to collab. See, these women, they talk out of the side of their necks so often. It's actually crazy. So I kind of want to skip to the part where we see Brett Cooper actually linking with Clavicular and shaking his hand. Now, I'm going to show you guys this clip of her linking with Clavicular and meeting Clavicular, and we're going to kind of break down some of the things that he did wrong and some of the things that she did wrong as well. Mind you, this is a married woman who flew all the way out to New York Fashion Week in order to meet this guy. And she stayed. This is after he did the runway. She got her face done up all the way, with the little wing mascara shit. She normally doesn't do that. She normally does not wear this much makeup. But I mean, look, all the women are looking at him, smiling at him, staring. Even he got the sister, he got the black woman, you know, even though he said he don't even like black women, you got the black woman looking at him in a gaze that represents attraction. It just is what it is. So we're not going to sit up here and act like she was not fangirling over this man. Now watch this interaction.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Brett's gonna, if you want to say hi to Brett.
Brett, what's up? How are you? Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Good job.
You thought it was good?
The show's very good. Brett.
Okay.
Hi.
Good job. You thought it was good? I'm sure it was very good. So run it back. Look, why is she smiling so damn hard?
What's up?
Hi, how's it going?
How are you? Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you after all that shit she done been through. Oh my God. Why is it nice to meet him after all the shit that she's been talking about him and then the shit that he's been talking about her? Now, the reason why she is out of bounds for shaking his hand and wanting to meet him is not because that she was critical of him, but it's because of what he clapped back with.
Good job.
You thought it was good?
The show's very good. Brett.
Okay.
You thought it was good? She said, I'm sure it was very good. She knew not to slip up on camera and say, yo, I thought it was very good. She said, I'm sure it was very good. As if she wasn't there watching him walk down the runway. And we have pictures of that and video of that too. Let's see if we can pull up this video of Clavicular walking down the runway. And then you got this weird ass bitch who also, I guess, wanted to meet Brett.
Hi. It's Liv. Oh my God, Liv! Hi.
I look different
No, my
because of the
God.
makeup.
You look
I know, right?
incredible.
It's because
Okay,
of the
I'm
makeup.
sorry. She's on track to take the photos.
No, I'm Liv. Nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Wait.
Yes.
Olivia,
Okay. This.
Yeah, I look different because of the makeup.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Brett's gonna.
So in this interaction, you can kind of see how Clavicular, because he doesn't really have the interpersonal group social skills, in my opinion, from what I've seen, he's used to kind of being the center. But then when a distraction comes in, like another woman, a different interaction, he doesn't really know how to interject in this scenario. So that's one of my critiques of him. Let's see. We do have pictures of Brett seeing him walk the catwalk on New York Fashion Week. So I do want to show that because she was super giddy to see him. And look at the face. I mean, look at the face that she's making. As you can see, she's right here in this left-hand corner with the black, staring at this man, talking about, oh, I'm sure it was really good. Girl, you saw the walk, and you're trying to act like you weren't over there with your friend who's clearly smiling. Y'all know they was talking. That's her girlfriend. They was talking like, oh my God, girl, there he is. Y'all know that was going on. But, I mean, she's trying to save face, but you already played your card. You already played your card. We can see it in your eyes that you want this man. We can see it in your eyes that you want this man. Okay? And it's fucked up because she's married, and because of the things that Clavicular has said about her on stream. And she's so excited to talk to and about this man. But let's pull up some of the things that Clavicular has said about her on stream. Highly disrespectful, vulgar things that he said about her. Basically, that he was going to smash. He was going to give her a recessed booty hole. because somebody in the chat said she had a recessed mandible, I think, or recessed jawline or whatever. And he claps back in a very stark manner, if you will. Let's see if I can find it. And there's plenty of things to critique about Clavicular, but ultimately we have to realize why Brett Cooper is so fascinated with Clavicular. And it's because that he is igniting that sexual primal energy out of her. And, you know, he's reacting to her stream here. And you can see his reaction to her stream. He's clearly making vulgar sexual remarks about her, and she is just letting it ride.
She has a recessed maxilla. Dude, she's better have a fucking recessed butthole after I have
young man.
10
I
minutes
believe
with her.
his name is Brand. He is a
So you heard what he says. He's reacting to the chat, and the chat says, hey, you have a recessed maxilla? Oh, well, you're about to have a recessed butthole after I get done with her. Mind you, this is before New York Fashion Week, so there's no way that she didn't see this clip. There's no way that she didn't see this clip. And shout out to Just Pearly Things. Great commentary. Appreciate that. You know, and shout out to Pearl. She's the one who kind of told me, hey, you need to get on this story before the story dies down. And it is a story that needs to be told, and it needs to be examined from a red pill lens, because ultimately this is bad for the trad wives, and this is bad for her husband, especially because when you have another man saying that he's going, and he didn't even say, oh, he's going to fuck the pussy. He said he's going to give her a recessed butthole. So he's reacting to the chat. Somebody in the chat says, hey, she has a recessed maxilla. He says, oh, she's going to have a recessed butthole after I'm done with her. Mind you, this is a married woman, and Clav is no stranger to taking a nigga's bitch, because he just took a nigga's bitch on Valentine's Day. So he's taking dudes' girls, and Brett better be careful, because, and especially her husband better be careful, because it's very obvious that she is smitten with him, very much interested in him in a primal way, as you guys can see. Why does she keep talking about him? Why does she keep making videos about him as a married woman? Why does she keep making streams about him? Why is she so giddy and so happy and so smiley to meet him after he said that he would pelvic max her and give her a recessed butthole?
She has a recessed maxilla. Dude, she's better have a fucking recessed butthole after I have
young man.
10
I
minutes
believe
with her.
his name is Brand. He is
She wants me on God.
Do you know what looks maxing is?
No.
On God, she wants me. Yep.
Their skin and their style, and they get a new haircut, they hit the gym, they're eating healthy.
She could tell you the exact circumference of my penis.
Looks maxing. Clavicular takes this to the extreme here. So he does.
He said she can tell the exact circumference of my penis. Mind you, he reacted to this clip that I'm also reacting to. And this clip where she was talking about meet the men who used crystal methylene max, this video is 2 months old. So he reacted to this a couple weeks ago. There's no way. Or he reacted to this once she got on Piers Morgan, which was a couple weeks ago. And if you look at the timeline, the Piers Morgan thing aired 6 days ago. They most likely filmed it a few days before. So she's seen the stream. She's had time to see the streams and react to the stream. She knew that he said that he was going to give her a recessed butthole. She knew that he said that he was going to pelvic max her. She knew that he said all of these derogatory, vulgar things, but was so excited to meet this man at New York Fashion Week.
Something, for example, called bone smashing.
Okay.
He takes a hammer to the jaw, and he believes that by fracturing, doing these.
Not he believes. She has.
She said, not he believes, he knows. So that's one clip. That's one clip. And I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad for Brett Cooper. Let's see if I can find the other clip where Clavicular said he wanted to pelvic max her. Let's see. Because this was crazy too. Clavicular Brett. All right, because there's a clip where he said he was going to pelvic max her. Okay, so I got the recessed butthole thing. Let's see if I can find the pelvic maxing clip. Again, I don't understand why people are defending Brett Cooper for being so giddy, being so happy to meet Clavicular when she talked all this mess about him, saying he was a drug addict and saying this and saying that. I mean, it's pretty pathetic when you see how she actually reacted to him in real life. Here's another clip of Clavicular saying that he's going to steal her from her husband. This was after New York Fashion Week. And guess what? Brett Cooper is still DMing Clavicular. I have the clip. So let's keep going.
I'm not gonna lie, Brett Cooper, bro. Brett Cooper, I know you came all the way to Fashion Week for me. You know what I'm saying? I wish we got to talk more, but now that we're both in the same city, DM me on Twitter, and you know, we can make you forget you were ever married. Let's be real.
Wow. He says we can make you forget you were ever married. And look at her husband compared to Clavicular. I mean, Clavicular obviously looks better than her husband. It doesn't look like her husband has looks maxed at all. He has a big old fat nose, big old square head, awkward smile. He's just not an attractive guy. And Brett Cooper knows this. Okay? Brett Cooper knows this. So, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
Don't forget about your fucking cuck loser husband, and maybe her and the Botox lady's husband could kick it or some shit, you know? Maybe they could go for a day drink. I'm not gonna lie, Brett Cooper, bro. Brett Cooper, I know you came all the way to Fashion Week for me. You know what I'm saying? I wish we got to talk.
Hold up. Can y'all hear me? Okay, it looks like y'all can hear me, but my camera, I don't know what the hell my camera is doing because it says that it is. Let me leave the studio and come back. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry there, folks. My camera froze up, but we got it back. But yes, yes, Clavicular said that he was gonna make Brett Cooper forget her husband. I mean, why would you, as a married woman, want to meet a man who is taunting, disrespecting, and straight up just violating your husband? I don't understand why she's so giddy to meet him and why she wants to continue interacting. And I guarantee that they do a collab because that's the type of chick that she is. She's clout chasing, and she's using her trad relationship to formulate her public image, but in reality, she wants to get down and dirty like every other secular person out here, like every other modern women out here.
I'm not gonna lie, Brett Cooper, bro. Brett Cooper, I know you came all the way to Fashion Week for me. You know what I'm saying? I wish we got to talk more, but now that we're both in the same city, DM me on Twitter, and you know, we can make you forget you were ever married. Let's be real. Don't forget about your fucking cuck loser husband.
Cuck loser husband. Straight called him a cuck loser. If she continues to want to collab with him and try and DM him to link up and do a collab, I mean, this dude has to leave her. This is absolutely ridiculously embarrassing and disrespectful to her man. And even when you look at the pictures that Brett Cooper initially posted of her marriage, she didn't even post her man's face. That's how you know that nigga ugly. She don't want to show him off.
And maybe her and the Botox lady's husband could kick it or some shit, you know? Maybe they could go for a day drink.
So there you go. He's taking shots at Brett as she eagerly wants to link up with him. And here is Brett Cooper announcing her marriage on Twitter. Again, not showing his face. Not showing his face. Not showing his face. Is she really, really proud of this man? Is she really proud to be his wife, or is he just a placeholder? Right? Is he just a placeholder? I mean, Clavicular literally said that he was going to pelvic max her. So here's a clip of him saying he's going to pelvic max her. So let's listen up.
She has a recessed maxilla? Dude, she's better have a fucking recessed butthole.
Oh, this is the recessed butthole clip. My bad. Where's the pelvic max clip? Damn it. I don't want to search pelvic max on fucking X because all this weird ass shit be coming up. But yeah, I mean, even the recessed butthole, that's enough. That's enough. But it's still just surprising, honestly. But not really, right? Not really. You know, it's surprising to a person who doesn't really understand the red pill. But once you get to know and understand female nature, then you're like, oh, well, you know, I get why she is pretty much bending to the will of this guy as she continues to try and DM him. I'm going to find the pelvic max clip, but I do want to show you guys this clip of him talking about Brett Cooper trying to DM him and link with him. She's trying to teach him how to be a gentleman through the DMs. Let's listen up.
Did she really just say that to me? She literally said, you need to DM better, sup, and what you do tonight. You need to text the plan if you want any intelligent girl to respond. I'm gonna say, good thing I'm not talking to an intelligent girl.
So boom. I mean, completely crushed her.
Did she really just say that to me? She literally said, you need to DM better, sup, and what you do tonight. You need to text the plan if you want any intelligent girl to respond. I'm gonna say, good thing I'm not talking to an intelligent girl.
So she asked him to text a plan to link up instead of saying, what you doing tonight? And she's like, oh, well, you need to text more intelligently if you want an intelligent girl, or you need to text a plan and all this kind of bullshit. Like, what? Why is anybody doing the most? Why is anybody doing extra for a Brett Cooper who is acting very shady when it comes to linking with this dude? And then here's one of the girls that Clavicular stole from the guy earlier, and he compares her to Brett Cooper in the Sprinter van. So let's watch.
Yeah, so basically you look a little bit, wait, I'll show you a picture of Brett Cooper. You tell me yes or no if you look like her.
Okay.
Yes or no?
I mean, I see it like a little bit.
Yeah, for real. And you're kind of, yeah, she is hot. And you're kind of like Brett Cooper, like how you like left the guy you were with and now you're with me. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, yeah, you guys have a lot in common.
Wow. So he said you're like Brett Cooper in that you left the guy that you were with to be with me. So you guys have a lot in common. So I'm going to show you the clip where Clavicular stole this dude's girl, because then it's going to make more sense why he's going to be able to steal Brett Cooper from her husband.
I I would love to see someday.
So he's talking about cocaine, and he says I do cocaine, and she's like, I love to do cocaine someday. Like, what the fuck? Who says that? But Brett Cooper is acting like druggy game doesn't work. Oh, druggy game doesn't work. But he says, hey, I do cocaine. She's like, oh, I'd love to do cocaine someday.
Dumbass shit are you doing? What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Wait, who is this?
Oh, her man's right there.
Just met him.
Oh.
He said, I just met him. And in reality, he's known her for a year. He ends up saying,
I was like, wait.
They've been going steady for a year, and she acting like she just met him.
I just met her tonight. I don't really know.
Well, why are you standing here?
Because he wanted me to mock you. Bro, he's been standing there the whole time. He wanted me to get advice on how to say. But I know you don't really do it.
Well, like, I know, but why are you standing there? I don't understand.
Holy crap. My girl of the night.
That's your girl?
Yeah.
Are you retarded or what? Did you not just see?
I just met her. You just met her. You probably spent the same amount of time as me. I know at the end of
So he's trying to act like he just met her, but then he says, yo, it's been a year. So he's trying to act like he's not getting his girl taken. He's doing it very awkwardly. In this situation, you walk away. Either you grab her hand and walk away, or you walk away by yourself. That's the only option.
Hey, you're probably not gonna see her. You have her. You have her. This is fucking. You have all these other girls. You get all these girls.
Are you asking me for mercy?
I'm not a beggar. It's fine. You got it, bro. You're the better man. I'm a humble guy.
He said you're the better man, dude. This guy's a fucking cuck, man. This guy's a fucking cuck. And if Brett Cooper's husband doesn't stand up for himself, he's gonna get cucked out like this too.
There's more fish in the sea. That's so permanent, bro. What are we doing?
Okay, well,
battery swap, boys.
your friend's retarded, you know that, right? You're a fucking loser.
So that's one clip that it kind of doesn't paint the full picture. Because dude, he went out bad. He went out bad, he went out sad, he went out mad. Now here's the clip where he says he's been with her for a year and he finally comes clean in a last ditch effort to get Clavicular to give his girl back.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't steal my girl, bro.
He said, you can't steal my girl, bro.
It's Valentine's Day, bro. You can't
It's Valentine's Day, bro. You can't steal my girl.
steal my girl. Come on, man. You're a good guy. I know you're a good guy.
Past Valentine's Day was yesterday.
He said Valentine's Day was yesterday.
Kindness of your heart, bro. Come on. You're a good guy. I know you're a good guy.
Brother, 18 minutes ago, Valentine's Day ended, so you're gonna have to fuck off.
I'm good. Bro, come, dude. 1 year, bro.
Why is this guy begging me?
Come on, man.
He said 1 year they've been together. And she trying to act like it wasn't 1 year. She trying to act like, oh, she just met him in the club. She a damn lie. And this is how modern women act when they actually get confronted with a celebrity crush or somebody famous in real life. They will literally leave your ass right then and there. However long you've been together with her, it doesn't matter. She's going to fangirl over that celebrity crush if it's that guy that just does it for her.
Like, lamest shit ever. I know I am.
Bang,
That's pretty lame. So lame. Bro, that's why I can't even believe how retarded the average man is.
And look, she's rolling her eyes. Oh yeah, he's so retarded. I know. Like just agreeing with everything he says, being like a pick me bitch, like it's very cringe. It's very cringe. But like I said, Clavicular is known for taking a bitch's or a nigga's bitch. So the fact that he's known for that, and then Brett Cooper is still entertaining him, texting him, trying to link up. And I'm about to find this clip where Clavicular says he's going to pelvic mass her. I think I actually just found it. Oh, yeah, I just found it. So he says he's going to pelvic smash her, and her husband's going to be chair maxing. Now, watch this disrespect and tell me if it's okay for Brett Cooper. This is all before New York Fashion Week, mind you. This is all before New York Fashion Week, where he was talking about Brett Cooper and her husband and reacting to the Piers Morgan video. We know she watched this stream. Let's be real, because she's watching his clapbacks to her. Tell me it's appropriate for a woman to link up with a guy and be so excited and shake his hand after he said he was going to cuck your husband. Your husband's a loser. He's going to take you away from your husband. He's going to recess your butthole, and he's going to pelvic max you.
She's married, by the way. I'm pelvis smashing her. I don't give a fuck.
Miami, which really blew
Pelvic
her up
smashing.
in a lot of ways.
Her husband is going to be chair maxing. All right. That's a new vernacular, bitch. Add that to the lexicon. Your husband chair maxing after I pelvis smash you. Okay. So shut the fuck up. I'm done with this bitch constantly talking about me, constantly trying to call it Chase. I made your career. I made your entire career. She's married, by
So straight disrespected her. And guess what? She's so giddy and eager to meet him. Let's just go back to that clip. Let's just go back to the clip where she's smiling from ear to ear, meeting Clavicular. Or maybe we can just look at the stills. Why the fuck are you so happy to meet a man who said that he was going to give you a recessed butthole, pelvic max you, and chair max you, or pelvic smash you and chair max your husband? Ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no way. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I would have been crashed out. I would have been crashed out. Her husband, I mean, is it over already? Do you think this is redeemable? Is this something that her husband can come back from? It's hard because the humiliation is public. The apology has to be louder than the humiliation. Now, people actually found a barefaced Brett Cooper. This is what she looks like with no makeup. So this is what she looked like waking up when she is with her husband, waking up next to her husband. She gives him this. She gives her show this. And then she gives Clavicular glam. Again, gives her husband this. Gives her show this, and gives Clavicular the glam shot, aka the money shot. I mean, I don't see how you can't be like looking at her a little sideways after all this and after all the things that she has said or he has said about her. And she's just elated to meet him. Here's another clip where he's saying he wants her. He wants her.
Dude, she's so hot. I'm about to beat the Fuzzy nutting world record watching this.
Which I think is.
Dude, she's about to have a fucking recessed butthole after
There's
I
a
have
young man. I
10 minutes
believe
with her.
his name is Brayden.
Dude, she's so hot. I'm about to beat the Fuzzy nutting world record.
So he says the nutting world record. He's going to beat the nutting world. I mean, this is straight ridiculous and vulgar and just, I mean, disrespectful to her husband. But guess what? Brett Cooper does not feel like she did anything wrong. And there's so many clips and videos of her and what she, like her talking about Clavicular. But let's watch this video of after New York Fashion Week when she kind of recaps a weekend and gives her take on the interaction with Clavicular. And she's probably trying to glaze over it like, oh, I went for Fashion Week, my first Fashion Week. But really, we know she went to meet Clavicular.
Jump scare, everyone. I never really look like this. But anyway, hello from New York and New York Fashion Week. I am here in New York City this week. I'm going to ED Magazine's first ever live event that they are hosting, or I guess in-person event. I'm going to be on Fox a couple of times, and I am going to my very first ever New York Fashion Week fashion show, which is very crazy and very cool. I'm going to Elena Velez's show. That is what we're doing. So come along with me. You'll see some fun faces, including Alex. Let's do it.
All right.
Last night was wild. Hi, guys. Good to catch up.
Last night was wild. I mean, seriously talking about some last night was wild. Nah, B, that ain't it. That ain't it.
Hello from New York. Last night, you might have seen on X, I went to Elena Velez's fashion show for New York Fashion Week. And when I was planning out this entire week, because I have a bunch of events here this week and I'm doing Fox and all that stuff, I specifically intended and planned to do today's episode, Saturday's episode, on that experience, my first ever fashion show, and why I think Elena Velez is such a unique designer that often faces so much backlash in the mainstream industry. But the show itself and the attendees and the models are getting a lot of traction online. So I thought we should start out by discussing that, because yes, you might have seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually closed the show. He was the last model to walk on the runway. And yes, I got to meet him. Cue the screeching online from angry men. You might have seen it if you've been on X. So sorry to have ruined your day. But yes, I did meet Clavicular.
Oh. So why the fuck is she so excited about meeting a man who said that he'd give her a recessed butthole? I mean, come on, dude. This is not appropriate for a quote-unquote trad wife.
Give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Now, the whole thing was just crazy to experience, but honestly, in my opinion, I think it was really smart of Elena because she brought Clavicular in. He's obviously having this huge moment online. She basically let him stream everything from the fitting to hair and makeup to actually walk.
So now she's trying to make it seem like this was a brilliant move by the woman who threw on the show for that day and bringing on Clavicular, and it was so brilliant that she brought him on because all the virality, and he streamed the whole thing. Jeez.
Walking on the show, like we were sitting front row watching, and like his camera guys were walking like with him and filming the crowds, like they were completely involved. And so all of this exposed Clavicular's fans, the tens of thousands of people watching him on Kick, the people clipping his videos on X, they exposed them to Elena and to Fashion Week in general. Just opened them up to a whole new world. And I will say, this is not the first time that a streamer has walked in a fashion show, but she really gave him free reign and gave him free access, which was very, very cool to see. Now, in addition to Clavicular, she also had my friend Liv Schmidt walk in the show. She is the girl, I talked about her on comment section a couple of years ago, but she was literally kicked off of TikTok. She was banned on TikTok because she has this thing called Skinny Society, and she's like a fitness and health influencer, and she was telling girls how to portion control and calorie count.
So, oh wow, so she's doing the same thing about thin maxing that Clavicular did, but she don't have a problem with this woman doing it. As a matter of fact, she's almost framing it like, oh, she was kicked off of TikTok because she was so taboo in helping women lose weight. And, you know, the woke left mob, they can't stand to see women in great shape. So she was kicked off of TikTok, even though we know who owns TikTok.
But apparently that was triggering and harmful for people in the body positivity community. So yes, she was literally banned off of TikTok. She was dropped by her modeling agency. So it was like a cool full circle moment. She got to walk in her first Fashion Week show. She was like covered in Vogue by being in Elena's show. Elena also had some like controversial musicians walking. I think that she also had a detransitioner in the show.
Notice how she's trying to talk about all these different people. Fuck out of here. We know exactly what you really want to talk about. She's trying to make it seem like she was there for all the people who performed.
Show. I didn't catch that individual's name, but I was at the show with Brittany Hugo Boom, who is the founder and editor-in-chief of Evie Magazine. They also just did a profile on me being at the show, but Brittany apparently knew who this was and pointed her out. But needless to say, amidst all of that interesting cast of characters, Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so because he was there and because I was in attendance, there is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him. And God forbid, this is the worst, God forbid, I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh my God, cue the meltdowns, guys. They are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, log off, go speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like I cannot believe that this is something.
Look, the problem isn't that you smiled at him. The problem is that you smiled at him after all of the things that he said about you, all of the things that he said he would do to you, that you want him and that he would pelvic smash you and that he would give you a recessed butthole, and that he would make your husband chair max and sit in the cuck chair and watch as he fucked you. Like, come on. You can't be serious. You can't be this obtuse. She's trying to obfuscate and make it seem like it is what it is, and we all know what it is.
That is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know the Clavicular was going to be walking in the show.
Oh my God, not her finna come up here and lie like a motherfucker. So you ain't know Clavicular was gonna walk the show, even though he announced it on his streams that you watch faithfully. You didn't know he was gonna be on the show. And all these women love to claim that, oh, we hate Clavicular, we hate Clavicular. Guess what? When you see Clavicular in real life, it's a swarm of women trying to get pictures with him and trying to talk to him. So we're not going to go with this narrative that these hoes is just hating on Clavicular and they hate him and they think he's disgusting and they think that's on a third. Fuck out of here. Y'all are choosing on this dude so crazy, bruh.
I was first invited and agreed to go. I actually didn't think that he was going to make it after all, because he was literally just in jail in Arizona. But yes, he ended up walking, and obviously I was going to take the opportunity to meet him. After making content about him and after weeks of mocking him and saying that I thought he was just like a shell of a person.
And after not only making content about him, but him making content about you. How about that?
Who had no values. Like, I thought the respectful, the good thing to do would obviously be to go say hi in person and meet him and not be an actual asshole in real life, because I am not an asshole. But unfortunately, because every part of his life is streamed, people online smiling and being nice means that you are a hoe who hates her husband and hates her family. So that's the discourse online. Again, I will say, go touch grass.
I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Like, are you people crazy? We do not live in Saudi Arabia. Sometimes two women go out without their husbands, and sometimes women, oh my God, interact with the male species. Again,
wow, bruh. Oh my God. Nah. As a married woman, when you're out without your husband, you can't. I'm sorry. You can't like chit chat and small talk and flirt and call it harmless. Like, bullshit. We're not accepting this excuse anymore, especially men who are red pill aware. We're not accepting this excuse. We already know what this is. Stop being insecure. Two girls can't go out on a girls' night out and not do anything. Yeah, it's not that you'll do anything on that girls' night out. It's what you're setting up on the day that you have created this aura of fake trust and fake security for your husband. Let's be honest, because I mean, her acting like this interaction is harmless and women going out and interacting with men is harmless. Being married is I mean, it's completely counter to her whole trad grift. It's completely counter to her whole trad grift, bro.
touch grass, log off. It will be better for you. I guarantee it. Anyway, moving on from that whole scandal online. Needless to say, like, the show itself, again, it was a very cool but wild experience. It was wild to actually be at New York Fashion Week. That was never a place that I thought I would end up. And I really had no idea what to expect. But guys, I learned so much. You guys might know this. You might be more educated than I am, but
let me see.
I turned around in the conservatives is even, while day in and day out, the main quote Chester Cheetah, another cartoon. Speaking of this holier than thou. Now, throughout this article, the author is speaking to these different characters and artists, and one of the artists that he spoke to is actually a friend and a model for Elena, and steps outside of the traditional part.
So she's talking about other things besides the clavicular thing, so that's fine. We're gonna exit out of that one, but that was just her doubling down and essentially saying, "Hey, you know, it was nothing. We brushed into each other. I'm not a bitch, so I said hi." As a woman who, when a man makes these vulgar sexual passes at you, you can't say hi to him. As a matter of fact, when you see him, you probably should cuss him out. I mean, I'm not saying crash out on him, but you probably should have some choice words for him. Not, "Hey, how are you doing? It's so nice to meet you." Like, stop it, bro. Stop it. But let's get back to the original video where she was first acknowledging Clavicular and showing the world that she knows exactly who he is and what he's about.
that this will have on his still very adolescent and developing brain. Like, I think he's around my age, maybe a few years younger. We should not be.
Oh, also, I forgot about her little Evie magazine focus, because she did have a magazine photo shoot or whatever for Evie. And there's conspiracy theories about the origin of the magazine. I really could give a fuck about who funds the magazine or who owns the magazine. But it's giving the Marilyn Monroe vibe, except the dark-haired version, right? Definitely a sexy vibe. See-through dress. I mean, come on. A married woman showing all this leg. You know what I'm saying? In the hotel with the spandex and the see-through stockings. Come on, bro. As a married woman, this is a lot. Okay? Doing these sexy poses and sexy vibes, like come on, bro. And these are the same women that tell you, "Oh, it's nothing. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal." And apparently, some are saying her daughter was in the room when they were doing this shoot, or the baby, whatever it is. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but people are speculating that her little one was in the room when she was taking these. I mean, it's pretty scandalous for a trad wife. I mean, it's not something to where you say, "Oh my God, she's just letting it all hang out," but it's very focused on. It's very sexually charged, I'd say. It's very, and I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt here. The ultimate benefit of the doubt. You're in a hotel, sexy clothing. We know what hotels are for. Hotels are for affairs. Let's be honest. And Pearl says her baby was in the room. Fairly sure her husband was too. And it's just like, what is he? Your cheerleader? Again, he's sitting in the cuck chair while some photographer takes these sexy pictures of you and then puts it all over the internet for the world to see. Okay. So I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Be doing this in the slides, not eating, not sleeping, and then doing drugs. Like, it is common sense that is awful for you. Like, Brayden, if you actually want to be healthy, I would suggest talking to my friends over at Merrick Health. Let's be real. The traditional healthcare system.
Here we go. She throws an ad in here. Let's skip this joint really quickly.
A total game changer for my wellness and skincare routine. Light. Massive. I'm gonna add this really quickly. For any of the young men who are out there who are like, I want to look smacks, I want to be better, but I don't want to follow Clavicular, maybe you should follow the founder of Merrick Health, which is More Plates, More Dates, aka
Oh my gosh.
Derek. He is a far better role model for young men wanting to get into health and fitness, increasing testosterone, all of those things. There is
So she mentions More Plates, More Dates as a person to model for looks maxing. So this Derek guy, I mean, I personally, I've heard the More Plates, More Dates thing, but I think he's like one of these dudes who likes to debunk the red pill or some shit. I think he's one of those guys, right? Where he sits up here trying to debunk the red pill and says, "Oh, well, women aren't actually doing this, and women aren't actually having that much sex, and men are actually," but you know, I'm not sure. And I'm not even sure if this guy is on steroids or not. Kind of looks like he is, though. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of looks like he is. But I guess he's talking about. Oh yeah, so he's talking about TRT here. So yeah, I would go on a lift. You know, I would go off on a cliff and say, yeah, he probably is on some type of I'm not gonna go as far as to say he's on steroids, but I mean, the way he's let me just watch the video before, because the way he's talking about it. See, a guy like me, I don't talk about no steroid shit. I don't even know anything about steroids except the fact that is supposed to give you muscle. I really don't know much about it, but a lot of these dudes who be talking about it crazy are definitely on it. So this is the guy. He says being on TRT versus being off TRT. Oh, he says being on TRT versus being on TRT. From my conversation with Will Tennyson about gear, TRT, and fitness industry, full conversation coming soon. So let's see if more dates is on steroids. Because then it's like, okay, Brett, you're talking about recommending this guy, but he's doing the same drugs that Clav is doing.
A lot of people also have been saying, when I get older, I'm just gonna hop on TRT. It just seems like there's like this like idea that TRT is essentially like, it's kind of like the natty way. It's like people don't associate it with anabolics. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm getting older, I'm gonna hop on TRT. Why do you think people see it that way?
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of the literature that has come out is addressing true hypogonadism. So if somebody has, for example, primary hypogonadism is literally when your testes don't respond to the signaling hormones from your brain to the testes. So it's literally not responsive enough to make an adequate amount of testosterone to function properly. In that case, that guy needs TRT essentially, because what else are you going to do? Those studies will get conflated often with, you know, those outcomes were good equals I should be on TRT to optimize as well. But then the spectrum of risk, like I said, there's a reference range on blood tests that you'll see that goes from as low as 270 upwards of like 1,200, depending on the lab. Some of it is more narrow. Like in Canada, we have, I don't know, it's like 300 to 900 or something absurd. And then in the US, some places will go up to 1,100. It kind of depends. But at the end of the day, there's obviously a difference between 350 and 1,000 in terms of how much androgens are floating around in your blood. So to say that I'm on TRT at 1,000 versus I'm on TRT at 600, it's like you're technically on replacement based on a therapeutic reference range at.
I mean, the fact that he knows so much about it, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, he's probably on TRT or steroids or whatever the fuck they calling it now these days. So you're recommending this guy more plates, more dates, who's literally, I mean, is he talking about spinning plates or is he talking about lifting weights, you know, as far as like the plates, right? I think he's on just as many drugs or supplements as Clavicular is.
No cocaine required. And I can't believe I have to say that. But hey, anything
again, and I mean, let's keep it a buck, man. White boys do cocaine. So she's trying to say no cocaine required. Stop it. Stop it. Like, we're not going to sit up here and act like white boys do not do cocaine. That is their drug of choice, right? Where the black man's drug of choice is marijuana. The white man's drug of choice is cocaine. So we're not going to sit up here and act like this dude has not done cocaine or he's never done coke. I guarantee this dude has done coke. I almost guarantee it.
to look smack. Somebody commented and said, whether he did or he didn't do this, he shouldn't be saying he did to an audience of people that want to be like him. Exactly. For him to be up for 3 days off of it sounds like he was doing a little more than a microdose, casually playing with one of the most addictive drugs. This man dancing with the devil. And then exactly, this brings me back to my point at the beginning. This is why I am doing this episode, not just because this is crazy and it's weird and it's insane, but it's because he is selling all of this to his generation, to a generation of impressionable young men. And I mean literally selling. He has a paid Discord-like community for his fellow looksmack.
So again, she's mad that he is creating a subscription-based way to earn revenue. When women do it, oh, it's okay. She don't got shit to say about. I mean, how many videos has she made about OnlyFans whores getting rich? And she's mad at this dude for creating a subscription-based platform or Discord to help improve the appearance of other young men who were in the same situation that he was.
Where you can pay $50 a month to get advice and to be part of this coalition of hard maxers. And if being part of that private community isn't enough for you, don't worry, because you can pay. You can apply to be part of a one-on-one service through his paid course where he will help you ascend, or AKA achieve physical beauty. I just want you to look at his website here. I'm gonna have my editor scroll through it. So this is where you claim your spot. I actually filled out this. Maybe I should send it in. Clavicular. Am I able to look smacks? Can I look smacks with you? It's called the Clavicular.
Can I look smacks with you? Honey, You are a married woman. Please spare us.
System, clear audits, simple actions, and measurable progress week after week. Such simple actions. Just do meth and smash your face in, and you can look like me. This is like, it's certifiably insane. Again,
I guarantee he's not actually proposing that for people to do in his course. He is just saying that's what he does and it works for him, right? Because he's more interested in taking the shortcut to looks maxing, which again, like I said, I don't agree with. He's even divulged that he is sterile, meaning he can't have kids right now. He has to reverse the damage that the steroid has done to his reproductive situation here. So, you know what I'm saying? So there have been negative consequences to what he's been doing. But the point is, even with these negative consequences, even with all the quote unquote negativity that surrounds Clavicular, even with the drug usage, Brett Cooper is still turned on. Let's be honest.
And just go talk to my friends at Merrick Health. I'm not making this into another ad, but like seriously, they can help you diagnose what actually matters. And again, no fist to the jaw. Anyway, moving on from that, guys, don't worry, because if this is all just too intense for you and you do want to look smack, so if you do want to have that glow up, don't worry. Like, you don't have to bone smash. You don't have to do coke. You don't have to fast. You can also just put women's sticky boobs on your arms to make yourself look more muscular.
So you actually look like you have a little bit of size on you when you're like me and all you're doing is partying all the time and not lifting. Boom. You see that? Is that autistic?
No, that's crazy work, though. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga put the damn, it's like a little semi-bra or some shit on his shoulders. That's wild.
Now we're all padded up, ready to go.
I think he's just like creating these, insane looks maxing techniques, though, just for virality and just to kind of, increase his reach. I don't think he's actually doing this on the regular. He probably is thinking about different ways to quote unquote looks max, and then he'll find a way, then he'll maybe put it in his course and then show it on stream or show a teaser of it on stream. And then that's another way to kind of validate, oh, I know what I'm talking about. If you want bigger shoulders, here's a temporary fix. So I know what I'm talking about here. If you want a more chiseled jawline, higher cheekbones, more masculine facial structure, here's a cheat code here. I don't think he's actually doing these on a daily basis. I think he's kind of giving advice as to what can work, what has worked with him, what has worked with maybe other people as well, and kind of putting it all together.
Crisp.
How is this a role model? If you're too busy to go to the gym like me because you're partying all the time, you're trying to get into those clubs in Miami to get bottle service from all the bitches, but I'm a health guru, but I don't have time to work out. Just stick some women's sticky boobs, some freaking sticky chicken cutlets on your delts to make yourself look muscular. This is so gay. I'm sorry, but that actually is gay. Can you imagine going on a date with a man, or like you're at a dinner with your husband, you get home, you're putting on your pajamas, you're slipping into bed, and he's like, oh, sorry, babe, let me remove my delts. No. And I realize there are people that are gonna say, okay, well, women, you do the same thing. You take off the false eyelashes, you remove all of your extensions. And I get that has become more socially acceptable for women to do that. But the thing is, it's these same types of men that sit online and they attack women for doing that type of thing. For saying, the moment that you wear makeup, you are betraying your husband, you're lying to the world, wearing your push-up bras, whatever it may be. We need to have some consistency and just end it. I think my issue with this is that you're calling yourself like a health guru and you're giving all of this advice.
When did he call himself a health guru? Where the fuck did she get that? I ain't never heard that nigga say he was a health guru.
But then the advice is to put chicken cutlets on your arm, and it just doesn't seem right to me. Somebody commented and said how bro feels, and it's this jacked guy in a dress. Yeah, do you feel bonita? I just can't. Somebody else commented and said, I have no idea how there are men who think that this man is a cool dude when he's as obsessed with his vanity as a Kardashian. That's a true statement. And again, this is literally—
But guess what? It works. It worked on you, Brett, and it's working on all these hoes at ASU, and it's working every time that he shows his face in any type of party setting. The hoes are flocking. He took a nigga's bitch on Valentine's Day. So you want to critique it. You want to say, oh, this is stupid. But at the end of the day, men, we're focused on the results. What works, what doesn't, and everything that he's doing right now, especially infusing the social media aspect, the clout aspect, it's working.
The same type of thing that chronically online guys scream at women about. So let's just call a truce on all of this. No more fake delts, no more butt implants, no more boob jobs. Nobody likes it. Well, apparently his girlfriend likes it. And he is making sure that this young woman, this 17-year-old girlfriend, looks max as well. Because here he is giving her injections on camera.
Many are going to say, no, he's nice, he's attractive. You're going to think there's nothing wrong with that. He's just giving an opinion. He's literally injecting a 17-year-old. How is that just giving an opinion?
All right, so that clip was from
I mean, you know, I think that's I forgot his name. He's a fitness dude who does steroids as well. But he's saying, oh, he's literally injecting a 17-year-old like the kid's not fucking 19 himself. Like him and the bitch are the same age. Let's not act like he's just some, you know, pedo, or he's just like some Epstein nigga who's finding young bitches and injecting them with, I guess, face, whatever the fuck he was putting in, Botox. I don't know what the hell he's putting in the bitch's face, but she let him do it, and they're the same age. So it's not like, you know, he was just preying on some young bitch nigga. They probably went to the same high school.
YouTuber who was responding to some Clavicular videos, and he makes a good point. Like, he's not just giving opinions, he's not just showing people what he does and not influencing people. No, he directly is influencing. Again, he has paid courses that he's selling to people. Like, it's true, it's gross. Like, this
and what are you influencing, Brett? What are you influencing? Women to go and fly out hours away from your home to go meet the same guy you're talking shit about?
Not self-improvement. This is a downward spiral that is fueled by deep-rooted insecurities and a desperate need for online attention. Somebody commented and said, bro definitely has some deep down insecurities. Exactly. And listen, I get it.
And look, here's the thing. I agree that there's, you know, probably something fucked up wrong with Clavicular, but again, that's not what the focus of this is. It's the fact that female nature never fails. You are in awe of this man. You are smitten by this man. You are attracted to his aura. Let's be real.
And everywhere, just people in general are searching for meaning. Men are searching for solutions. Men want to feel empowered and seen, rightfully so, especially due to the culture and the society that we live in, that we created for these young men. But this is not the way. Giving yourself Botox, doing coke and meth, and sticking chicken cutlets on your arms like this, I'm sorry, this is a catastrophe waiting to happen, not to mention smashing your face in with a freaking hammer. One girl on X said, meet Clavicular, the new face of American youth inspiration. Uses meth daily for leanness, claims anabolic steroids are safer.
Okay, so I have to stop it right there. For American youth inspiration, no, this is a white people thing. Niggas ain't fucking with Clavicular. You know, Clavicular said the N-word. Niggas pressed them in real life, all this kind of shit. Niggas ain't fucking with Clavicular, bruh. So this ain't no American, you know, this is white American youth. So let's just make that differentiation right there, because black men are not looking after Clavicular and following his every move like the white community is, especially the younger generation. And the women in the younger generation are part of that too, because you're validating everything that he says about his main premise is looks maxing is the root of all success. If you're unattractive, you're not going to be successful. The better you look, the easier it is to be successful. You benefit from pretty privilege by being more attractive.
Than alcohol, practices medicine without a license on his 16-year-old girlfriend, promotes bone smashing, aka hammering your own face to create hunter eye microfractures, pushes limb lengthening surgery on teenagers, and calls the lifelong pain a cope. Teaches 14-year-olds to take aromatase inhibitors so they never hit puberty properly, runs paid Telegram groups giving TRT and peptide protocols to minors, sells $300 looks maxing guys that are just screenshots from old forums, fraudulently adds 3-inch shoe lists while
all this minor shit is... Bro, where the hell are they oh, he's doing this for minors. What, nigga? This shit is fucking hilarious. And then she lowered the age of the girlfriend to 16. Like, bruh, come on, dude. These women will lie and do everything to paint a bad image of the guy. And I'm not even trying to defend him. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of these modern women.
Anyone under 6'2" subhuman, recommends chewing rocks, mastic gum and actual rocks, and thumb pulling your eye sockets for free facial ascension. Anything else I missed is probably illegal in at least 3 states. Again, certifiably insane. This is not self-improvement. This is a insane scam. And what is also standing out to me is the similarities to everything we have spent the last few years talking about in regards to transgender affirmative care for children, saying that we
Now she's saying a nigga is trans. Come on, bruh.
cannot let young people do irreversible damage to their bodies before their brains are fully developed, saying that, 12, 14, 16 years old, you're probably going to look
again. He didn't start doing any of this until he turned 18. Like, he wasn't taking the types of drugs he was taking till he turned 18.
Feel like an ugly duckling, and that's okay. That's normal. Those insecurities, wanting to feel better, wanting to look better, that's normal. Let's not irreversibly damage and change your body. Let's not stop you from going through puberty or make you go through puberty earlier just to affirm whatever insecure delusions you are feeling as a young person. Insecurities that literally every single human being on earth goes through because it is normal. And these solutions are so harmful, and young people are watching and absorbing all of this. Somebody else commented on YouTube and said, and people wonder why the mental health of young people is in decline. When I was 19, my biggest concern was figuring out how much gas money I was going to need to get to the amusement park with my friends. Yeah, and I feel like there's some duality here, and I don't know whether the chicken comes before the egg in this situation, because obviously a lot of the mental health struggles of Gen Z push them into these types of communities where they are wanting to do extreme things to make themselves feel more worthy, to make them feel more attractive or more whole. But also then that creates mental health issues. Watching this type of content can make you feel insecure and can make you feel less than. It is an endless cycle.
What the fuck? Yo, this bitch is reading way too deep into it. It's just, the cope is ridiculous
that young people online are going through. Another episode that I want to do this week and that I want to talk about is that in Australia, they are banning social media for young people. This is why, because young people are consuming this type of content and parents have a right to be concerned. Now, I don't know if getting the government involved is the right way to go about it. I am very wary of government, getting involved in what we can and cannot do in our own homes, but it is true that something needs to be done. And parents need to be incredibly attentive and proactive and understanding what their children are consuming and watching what their influences are, because this is not right. Another person commented and said, I'm a middle school teacher and it is so much worse than y'all think. This stuff is rampant in kids and they think that they're going to grow up to get all of these modifications on their bodies. In addition to Twitch streamers being their role models, kids are really being
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Kids are gonna get all these bruh. It's fucking women. Men are not doing this shit. Men have been known how to look smacks without the clavicular druggy way, without the bone. Like, they're really acting like men are out here bone smashing. All this shit that Clavicular is saying is a big troll. I'm not saying that it doesn't necessarily work, but it's kind of a practical it's like a practical, attainable way to look smacks without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Men are not going under the knife to alter their appearance in the way that they're trying to make it seem. That's a woman thing.
Influenced to fail. I mean, like, Clavicular himself started this at 16 years old. He was 16 and decided to hammer his face in or whatever the hell he was doing. Like, it's all so nuanced, but it also is not, because yes.
Look, I don't think he was doing the bone smashing at 16. I think in his preteen years, it was Accutane. He was trying to get rid of the acne because that is the shit that made him look ugly. That's the shit that fucked his face up. Then he was focused on losing weight. That's probably, where the intermittent fasting, maybe even drug use comes in. But I think that kind of developed further down the line when he is getting closer to adulthood.
Men and women should strive to improve themselves. And if you feel insecure and you want to change the way you look, obviously you should take normal, measured steps to do so if it feels right, but not at the expense of your health, or more importantly, your soul. If you are not happy with the way that you look or with your health, your body, your skin, there are ways to improve, which will also make you feel better. They do not include doing meth or bashing your face in with a freaking hammer. And I cannot believe that I literally just had to say that on YouTube. Like, if you're a guy and you want your arms to look better, you want to lose a little bit of weight, go to the gym, maybe eat some chicken breast, get those t-shirts that are tighter around the arms if you want something that is more immediate, if that makes you feel a little better. Same for women. This is a message to me. Put down the freaking chocolate chip cookies. Get a nice blowout. You do not need to suck all of the buccal fat out of your beautiful baby faces, stick bags of silicone into your boobs, and lose weight like Ariana Grande. You do not need to do all of that to be attractive. The most attractive thing that you can do, in my opinion, is to just take care of your body, to take care of your health, and the rest of the things will follow. Also, work on your mindset. Positive, happy people are more attractive. That's why there's that.
I promise you, ain't no mindset gonna get you bitches unless you're coming with the player mindset, okay? Unless you coming with some peace shit. That's the only mindset. You're not gonna have the let me, law of attraction my way into some pussy. That's not how it works, bruh.
That old, hey, I wish you would smile more, honey. And, all the angry feminists would get so pissed off about it, but it's true. You are more endearing. You're more beautiful when you smile, when you have a nice, endearing aura. So maybe, and I know that I'm saying that as I'm like screaming on YouTube right now. So maybe I should like take that into consideration, but it also doesn't matter because I'm married and I have a baby. I don't need to be attractive to you guys, but.
Oh, so now it don't matter that you're married and you got a baby because you don't want to be attracted to your online audience, but you're taking these glam magazine pics, trying to be sexy, going to meet Clavicular, flying out to New York Fashion Week to meet this man. Come on.
The point being, there are other things that you can do. And for the love of God, like find better role models. Do not pay $50 a month for this Discord community. Do not pay $300 to have a one-on-one with this guy who's going to help you get hunter's eyes and figure out how to do methamphetamine to make yourself skinnier. I am hereby urging every fan of Braden's to go watch a freaking episode of Huberman. Go listen to Chris Williamson's podcast. Listen to his whole transformation. Go subscribe to Derek, More Plates, More Dates. Learn how to take care of your bodies and your minds and your soul, because this ain't it. If you made it all the way to the end of this episode.
So, I mean, there you have it. That's her first video of Clavicular. Then she talks about the HH thing. Let's see. We'll break down this clip of Pierce Morgan when she talked about Clavicular on Pierce Morgan, and we'll get up out of here. I think we've covered it extensively, though.
Things get taken out of context, but that's the world we live in. That's the nature of our job and being online and people having to.
World authority on somebody. He got arrested.
All right, here we go.
Certainly is. Now, you are a world authority on somebody called Clavicular, who I have to say hasn't brushed.
So notice how when Piers Morgan brought up Clavicular's name, and this is 24 minutes into the interview, look how she reacts. So giddy, so happy, so what? Not a married woman acting so happy and giddy when another man's name is brought up. What the fuck?
World authority on somebody called Clavicular, who I have to say hasn't brushed my life particularly. He got arrested at the weekend. First of all, who is Clavicular? I only know him because he was in that ridiculous van with Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, and the others in Miami. But who is Clavicular, and why is he being arrested?
All right, so Pierce, Clavicular is a young man. I believe his name is Brayton, but he goes by Clavicular. And
I believe now. Girl, you know this man's name. Get the fuck out of She trying to act like she don't know the nigga now.
He is a looks maxer. Do you know what looks maxing is?
No. Educate me.
Oh my God, bro. She's so in awe with this topic. Like, she really likes that shit, bro.
So looks maxing is this trend online where you are trying to make yourself look as physically attractive as possible. And it's basically like I'm taking autonomy for my well-being and how I look, and I'm going to try to elevate my perceived status through the way that I look. And at the beginning, when I first saw this taking off and saw people saying they're looks maxing, like the videos are kind of, cute. It's these guys who were maybe kind of awkward in high school.
The videos were cute. Talking about other men looks maxing. Lord have mercy.
And then over the course of a couple of years, they start to care about their skin and their style, and they get a new haircut. They hit the gym. They're eating healthy. They're looks maxing. Clavicular takes this to the extreme here. So he does something, for example, called bone smashing, where he takes a hammer to the jaw. And he believes that by fracturing, doing these like minute fractures on his jaw, it allows the jaw to grow back stronger and he's able to reform it. The most hilarious thing, which I definitely made fun of on my show, is that he puts, now you have daughters. I don't know if this is, inappropriate to say, you're also married, but there are these things called sticky boobs that women wear. Like if you're wearing like a strapless top, you put on like a little sticky boob.
So now she's trying to use the most sensational things that he's done or shown on stream to, make fun of him in this way.
Bra. He puts those on his shoulders to try to make himself look more muscular. I'm not kidding. They're like chicken cutlets.
God, I'm learning so much here, Brett.
No, you're so welcome. This is your education. So he puts these under his shirt. But the most egregious thing is that he very openly does drugs. He talks about doing meth in order to help him fast so that he can lose weight. He takes Adderall, and these are all things that he talks about very openly. And he is 20 years old. He is talking about using illicit, illegal drugs on his live streams every single night. So honestly, it's like a wonder that he has not been arrested prior to this. And my first episode that I did about him when I discovered him is I was saying, like, you know, especially to parents, like, this is the content that your kids online are consuming. Like, we can be able to look at this and go, this is hilarious and ridiculous. But there are people that are taking it seriously, that are wanting to take his advice. Right. That was my concern with it, especially for young impressionable minds. So that's Clavicular. And the name Clavicular comes from the clavicle and this idea with look smackers that having like a big, strong, prominent clavicle is like a sign of peak attractiveness. So he goes by Clavicular, I guess. But yes, he was arrested. He went to a frat party at ASU over the weekend. And interestingly, you might find this funny, Pierce.
So here's a clip of him thug maxing by catching felony charges. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, apparent people are saying that the frat boys set him up because he was taking too many of their bitches. That's what I heard. Word on the street. So don't quote me on it, but that's what I heard.
Having a profile done of him by the New York Times. And the only way that he agreed to let the New York Times do the profile was if they live streamed the entire interview on Kick. So if you go back, you can watch an entire New York Times journalist interviewing him for like hours. And it's honestly a smart move because if they take anything out of context, he has thousands of people that were, you know, watching it on stream. But that also, you know, is a pitfall because he was filmed. He had a prescription pill in his pocket, and I don't think he had the prescription on him. I don't know if he even has a prescription for it. He was also using a fake ID. They arrested him. Now the fake ID charge has been upped to a forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him.
He already left Arizona, but I mean, he got a lot of those charges dropped. So this is kind of like old news, but the fact that she knows so much about this man and is so interested in his looks maxing movement is concerning for a married woman.
Him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
So she knew he was going to be at Fashion Week. She fucking lied. I told y'all niggas, man. I told y'all in the other video. She said, I didn't even know he was going to be at Fashion Week. And then Piers Morgan, she said, oh, he was about to walk at Fashion Week, but he got arrested, so he ain't gonna get to walk. Hee hee, ha ha ha. I got the tea on it. And then when you got confronted, oh my God, she didn't know. Damn, this bitch is a liar. And I told you, it's always like the sweet looking ones, the ones who present themselves in like the most honorable way. Those are the ones who you gotta watch. This bitch is sneaky. And her husband is none the wiser, but she's so sneaky, and we just proved it. In the last video that we watched, where she was recapping the New York Fashion Week, she was trying to act like she didn't know Clavicular was going to be there. But then in this Piers Morgan video that was 6 days before Fashion Week, she said, oh, and, you know, mind you, they filmed it. They filmed this video before they put it out, a couple days before they put it out. So, essentially, she knew that Clavicular was going to be on Fashion Week, and maybe she could have made the alibi of, oh, well, because he got locked up, I didn't think he would actually be there. But she saw his charges get dropped. Let's not act like she ain't on the internet and seen all that. So she knew he was going to be there, and then she acting like she didn't know she was going to be there, and she said it in the other video. But we have it in 4K that she knew he was going to be there, and she knew before even we knew he was going to be there.
Forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
Exclusive tea. But girl, in the other video, you said you didn't know he was going to be at Fashion Week. So which one is it?
So he's not going to be able to do that because he's stuck in Arizona. He's not allowed to do any drugs or be drinking. He has to be sober. So maybe we'll start seeing sober maxing instead of looks maxing. So yeah, that is Clavicular. And basically overnight, he has become this viral sensation. And the language, this is also really interesting to me. He's basically created his own language on social media with words like clavicular and looks maxing. And
he's not really a political figure, but all of his politics are based on how attractive you are. So you might have seen the viral.
What
clip
about
with
this
Michael.
word?
Yes.
What about this other word I've heard? Mogging.
Okay.
What is
Yes,
mogging?
okay, well, that's what I was going to bring up, is that mogging means that you are like beating somebody with your attractiveness.
And she understands that Clavicular mogs her husband, and that's why she's so obsessed with this guy, especially not you know in lieu of, no, especially because he made sexual passes at her. I promise you that got her turned on. The fact that he made sexual passes at her multiple times on stream got her turned on. She watches his stream. She knows everything that's going to be about it. She probably has her manager put a private investigator on him to know his whereabouts, and you know the industry talks. So she knew he was going to be at Fashion Week. Let's stop the cap.
So, for instance, he said he doesn't want to vote for JD Vance if he is the candidate in a couple of years, because Gavin Newsom mogs JD Vance. Gavin Newsom has a better jawline, is more in shape, so that's what Clavicular cares about. And so there was an especially viral clip where he walked into this ASU frat party and he was on his stream, and an ASU like frat leader frame mogged him. And frame mogged apparently means that his body was, I guess, that like was more in shape than.
Oh, you guess? So you didn't watch that clip, but you guess his body was better, like more in shape, like he had a larger frame. Get the fuck out of here, girl. You are not slick. We already caught you in a lie. We already caught you in a lie.
And so anyway, it's a whole thing. It's ridiculous, Pierce. And so if your children start saying mogged, maxing, if they start saying, foid is another one. It's a term for women. Like foids will come up to Clavicular. It is like, it's incredible how quickly these viral trends can take hold and how quickly these terms can just be inserted into the lexicon. So anyway, that's Clavicular. It's crazy. So stay tuned. We'll see.
I mean, my issue with all those guys, I've interviewed Andrew Tate a number of times. I've interviewed his brother Tristan. I've interviewed Fuentes, obviously, Sneeko briefly.
And we saw Pierce go through his bullshit where he broke his hip or something, and his wife didn't even want to take care of him. So it's like, bro, you have no voice on the subject of masculinity, big dog. Like, you have no room to talk. You are in the cuck chair, big dog. Like, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, Pierce, you don't have no room to talk. Your wife wanted to leave you after you broke your hip. She was not for sickness and through sickness and in health. She was about to leave your ass. So like, y'all love talking about how the red pill is off center and we don't know what we're talking about and we're fringe and we're radical, but we're literally just outlining and painting the picture of what modern women are doing on an everyday basis. And we have the facts, the videos, the tweets, the TikToks, the everything to back it up.
With Kanye and a kind of farcical thing.
So he's going to get into the Andrew Tate bullshit now. I want to go back to when Brett Cooper said that he got arrested and she knew he was going to be on Fashion Week.
That also, is a pitfall because he was filmed. He had a context. He streamed the entire interview on Kick. So if you go back, you can watch an entire New York Times journalist interviewing him for like hours. And it's honestly a smart move, because if they take anything out of context, he has thousands of people that were, watching it on stream. But that also, is a pitfall because he was filmed. He had a prescription pill in his pocket, and I don't think he had the prescription on him. I don't know if he even has a prescription for it. He was also using a fake ID. They arrested him. Now the fake ID charge has been upped to a forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I.
Okay, so again, Brett Cooper said she didn't know that he was going to be at Fashion Week, and look at the face she's making now. Like, I mean, come on, this is like. She's just so happy to talk about him. I'm not even going to say what that face looked like, but she tried to make it seem like she didn't know he was going to be at Fashion Week. So let me prove to you that she lied.
That is what we're doing. So come along. Last night,
you might have seen on X, I went to Elena Velez's fashion show for New York Fashion Week. And when I was planning out this entire week, because I have a bunch of events here this week and I'm doing Fox and all that stuff, I specifically intended and planned to do today's episode, Saturday's episode, on that experience, my first ever fashion show, and why I think Elena Velez is such a unique designer that often faces so much backlash in the mainstream industry. But the show itself and the attendees and the models are getting a lot of traction online. So I thought we should start out by discussing that, because yes, you might have seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually closed the show. He was the last model to walk on the runway. And yes, I got to meet him. Cue the screeching online from angry men. You might have seen it if you've been on X. So sorry to have ruined your day. But yes, I did meet Clavicular.
I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Now, the whole thing was just crazy to experience. But honestly, in my opinion, I think it was really smart of Elena because she brought Clavicular in. He's obviously having this huge moment online. She basically let him stream everything from the fitting to hair and makeup to actually walking on the show. Like, we were sitting front row watching, and like his camera guys were walking like with him and filming the crowds. Like, they were completely involved. And so all of this exposed Clavicular's fans, the tens of thousands of people watching him on Kick, the people clipping his videos on X, they exposed them to Elena and to Fashion Week in general. It just opened them up to a whole new world. And I will say, this is not the first time that a streamer has walked in a fashion show, but she really gave him free reign and gave him free access, which was very, very cool to see. Now,
yeah, and that right there made him the contextual alpha at New York Fashion Week. And she saw how much power, how much influence that he had. And that is what really turned her on. Yes, the looks maxing helped, but it's the fact that he got famous for being attractive. That's what's the most important thing. The clout mixed with the looks, because it's not just the looks, it's the clout on top of the looks.
in addition to Clavicular, she also had my friend Liv Schmidt walk in the show. She is the girl, I talked about her on comment section a couple of years ago, but she was literally kicked off of TikTok. She was banned on TikTok because she has this thing, portion control. And of TikTok, she was dropped. She was like covered in Vogue by B. She also had a detransitioner in the show magazine. They also just did, amidst all of that, that interesting cast of characters, Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so because he was there and because I was in attendance, there is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him. And God forbid, this is the worst, God forbid, I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh my God, cue the meltdowns, guys. They are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, log off, go speak.
This is the gaslighting language that modern women use to try and get you off of the scent of their attractiveness to another man. Go touch grass. I wonder if she told her husband to touch grass.
Speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like, I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was...
Oh, she fucking lied, bro. It's right there. Run it back. She said that she didn't know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show, but you told Piers Morgan that you knew that he was supposed to be at New York Fashion Week. The cap is crazy. Let's run it back.
And stare at the sunshine. Like, I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was first invited and agreed to go. I actually didn't think that he was going to make it after all, because he was literally just in jail in Arizona. But yes, he ended up walking, and obviously I was going to take the opportunity to meet him. After making contact.
Oh, sure. So obviously she's going to take the opportunity to meet him after making content about him. After she said she didn't know he was going to be there. Girl, you knew.
The charge has been upped to a forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
So that you had the exclusive tea on it that he was supposed to be walking in New York Fashion Week. You thought he couldn't make it because he had these charges that at the end of the day, you knew those charges got dropped because you were on the internet. Get the fuck out of here. We're not going to sit up here and act like you did not know that he was going to make that. Come on. You've been following his every move. You are obsessed with this guy. Multiple videos on this guy. You knew about it, honey.
Interesting cast of characters. Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so because he was there and because
he's the most viral moment of the night, guys, notice the language. This guy is put up on a pedestal in her mind.
I was in attendance. There is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him. And God forbid, this is the worst. God forbid. I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh.
Which you shouldn't have after he said he was going to pelvic smash you, give you a recessed butthole. He said your husband was going to be in the cuck chair watching. He was going to cuck max your husband. He was going to steal you from your husband. I mean, what the hell? Of course you shouldn't have spoken to this man.
Oh my God, cue the meltdowns, guys. They are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, log off. Go speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know the Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was.
Oh, so you didn't know he was going to be, I mean, come on. Come on. You knew he was going to be there. Stop it. You saw the charges everybody saw the charges got dropped on Twitter. So you were probably, at first you saw him get arrested and you were like, oh, I'm not going to be able to meet him at Fashion Week. And then he gets released, all charges drop. You're like, oh my God, this nigga has pull. He has aura. I can't wait to see him at Fashion Week. That's why you had to meet him. And that's why you had to put on a full beat on your face. Like, stop this. Brett, stop it. We see through the bullshit. You knew he was going to be there. You told your audience that you didn't know he was going to be there. Stop the cap. Okay? It's that simple. It's that simple.
Stop the cap.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Brett Cooper dug herself into a hole when it comes to this clavicular situation. And I mean, it's not a good look, especially for her husband. The way that he's disrespected her husband, the way that he has disrespected her, the vulgarity, the sexual innuendos, the sexual passes, and she still went to go meet him and was so excited to meet. I mean, come on. But anyways, I'm going to read some of these comments, then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So Just Pearly Thing said her baby was in the room. Fairly sure her husband was too. The baby is confirmed. And D-Man Sammy says she's literally a boss babe acting like she's not like the other girls. LOL. Pearl says the editor of the magazine said that her baby was in the room as a way to defend her. And then Tyler Chernisky says she probably wants him sexually as well. D-Man Sammy says Becky does a lot of drugs too. Cap. JB Designer says conservative cuck maxing at its finest. Stall Jans says desperate need for online attention. Yeah, Brett, look in the mirror. D-Man Sammy says she's doing the same thing she would accuse Fresh and Fit of doing in exposing their audience to the type of people they preach to stay away from her. Exactly. Her audience of women are going to follow him because they're into him. Exactly. So she's doing the same thing. She's saying, oh, well, nobody should follow him. Nobody should look after him. Nobody should go and but you're making video after video after video and exposing your audience to him. And guess what your audience is going to go do? The men are going to go say, hey, why is Brett the love of my life, the ideal girl that I believe, all you trad conservative cucks, the ideal girl that I believe is so pure. Why does she talk about him so much? And then the men are going to go look at him. And the women are going to be like, who's this hot guy that she has in the thumbnail? That's what it's good. It's not even going to go deeper than that. It's going to be, oh, who's this? Oh my God, he's so disgusting. Where can I follow him? That's the women's mindset. The average in-shape bro with a beard makes clavicular irrelevant, and in any setting, that's what's hilarious about it. I don't know, man. I mean, when you add on the clout, the social media clout, it's gonna be pretty tough. It's gonna be pretty tough. Stalljan says, I am hockey and I never heard of Click Guy till Brett's stunt. Exactly. Proving the point. MR Heel says, JB, they don't want to hear that truth. He also says she's spitting a bunch of word salad. That's or where's the Italian dressing? JB says the bone glizzy smashing shit is wild to me. D-Man says she really said I'm not always a status, but when I am, it's for the kids. Mr. Hill says, I just can't digest having my legs broken just to add a few inches of height. I got what I got. If women don't want you here, go where you're the most have product. JB says that's insane. DM Sammy says she a little girl for real. Staljan says someone send this to her husband. LOL. Let him figure it out as fast as he can to protect himself from her new fantasy that will for sure ruin their marriage. D-Man Sammy says we knew it. Staljan says Brett is a liar. D-Man says you've been helping him have this huge moment with your coverage. Exactly. D-Man said got him. After we exposed Brett for lying, she'd been following his jail troubles. She knew they were dropped. Exactly. Truly Godson says facts. And then Style Jones says she knew he was going to be there. There's no way she did not. Look how happy she is. Exactly. Truly Godson says it's also sad, to be honest. Imagine the impact a repentant heart would have in the public eye, showing everyone how truly repentant for offending those who love you. Yeah. So, woo, Brett is in some deep doo-doo because we did find her to be lying. And you know, the person that I feel worse for, and it's hard for me to feel bad for some of these beta cucks out here, but the person that I feel worse for about this is her husband. Okay. Alex Tomble. Notice how she didn't take his last name either. She still goes by Brett Cooper, not Brett Tomble, wherever the fuck that means. So it's not looking good for Alex here. It's not looking good for Alex. Brett done chose up on another man. He obviously is getting mogged by Clavicular. And I mean, this dude, he is definitely just a square, all the way around square dude. Is, you know, Brett aroused by him? Probably not. And that's why she's taken so much interest in Clavicular. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship requested email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp. So know your opinion, man. Y'all need to be in your mark freaking with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.